Welcome again to my channel. In this video I wanted to show another impossible sight that we should not be able to see on a globe, but yet we can. This one comes from, if any of you have seen my other videos, I have taken going across this lake again. This one I'm again up on this telescope spot up on top of Suncrest, which is 6230. That's the elevation. Yeah, that's where my location is. And I'm looking across the lake and crossed over top of the corner of Antelope Island and looking to this spot right here, this train right here. Okay, this train track. This is a train track. If you zoom in, you can kind of see it. There's a train track that goes across. Now, level lake again is 4208, 4200, somewhere in there. The train track is 15, maybe 16, 17 feet tall, according to Google Earth, and I've measured Google Earth on many things, and it's pretty accurate. So you can see that's where we're at. Now this blue line is going to my location up on Suncrest, and if you measure that, it says it is 62.1 miles. So, again now, the lake is 4,200 feet. I add 6230, or minus 4,200 from that, so my difference is I'm up in elevation 2,030 feet above the lake. So that's where my eye height is. My target distance is 62.1, right? So in other words, my distance to the horizon is 55 miles, and then anything beyond that, or anything at 62 miles, has to be 31, almost 32 feet tall. So, my distance from my horizon is this purple, or this red line right here. This is 55 miles, about right there. So anything beyond, I guess it is purple if you zoom out, anything beyond there, that's my horizon, stuff will start to drop off, and at 62 miles, this needs to be 32 feet tall. Well, I want to know, how tall is a train? Like, how tall are they? I don't know. I've never really looked into it. I can have a guess. So I've looked at different things. I found this one on trainorders.com, forum talking about how tall trains are, blah, blah, blah. The tallest train people are talking about is 15, 16 feet. All I can say is 16 feet. It says 15 foot 10 inches. If you go through, you can read some of these. They're talking about trains being 16 feet 3 1/4 inches, 16 feet. So let's just say, okay, average. The tallest is saying 16 feet. So the average, I don't know, maybe 12, 14, 15, 16, whatever. I'm just going to say 16 feet tall. Okay, so that's how tall a train is. So if I'm able to see the train here at 62 miles, it needs to be 32 feet high. So if I take 32, I take 16 off of the train, and I take, this is about 16, yeah. I should be able to see the very tip top of the train, right? Maybe, and right here. I should be able to see it right here. And maybe this way. But as I get further out in distance, as the train travels along here, it's getting further and further away. Like, you can see if I see the train here, it's another, straight perpendicular, it's another almost mile, half a mile further away, half a mile to a mile further away from me. If I say my train is here, coming down, it's another mile, gets a mile and a half further away from me. So what does that do to my height? If I say 63 miles, well now it's 40 feet. Let's say it's 65 miles, 64 feet. That's now, it's really rapidly dropping off because I'm a long distance away. That curve is really starting to drop off. Things really need to start to get tall in order for me to see them. Well, let's go back to 62 miles, okay? 62 miles, 31 feet. Well, it was 62.1. What's interesting is 0.1 of a mile, almost a full foot difference, okay? Anyway, 62 miles, 31 feet, horizon at 55. This is where I am. That's where I'm looking. I'm looking at this train track that goes across the lake. You can see it goes across the lake, okay, across this. And you can see my line of sight right here kind of goes just barely over top of this island here, Antelope Island. This is my line of sight, coming down across the valley to the top where my telescope is. And what do we see? Holy cow, we can see the train. Right, we can see clear over here. This right here is what I was showing, that orange mile. This should have to be 40 feet in order to see that train. It would have to be 40 feet above the water, which if you take 15, even 20 feet of rocks and stuff to build up the train level, and then from there the train would have to be another 20 feet tall for me to just be able to see the very tip top of it. And you're saying, well, maybe I am seeing the very tip top of it, right? Well, I'll show you here in a second that you're not. You're seeing a lot more than that. Anyway, this is actually a video. You can, well, if I play it from the beginning. Again, I'm looking through my telescope with my iPhone. I know I need better equipment, but I don't have it yet. And doing slow motion through the telescope doesn't do very good. I tried that, but to see the movement of the train and everything, but that doesn't work. But anyway, there's the end of the train right there. So the train is actually coming toward me. You can see. Actually, no, I think it's actually going away from me. I actually saw two trains the same day. One going away from me, and then one coming back toward me. Sorry about the shakiness again. But here's a couple of stills. So you can see the train on top of the train tracks here. Right here. Okay, this is, again, the Antelope Island that you're kind of seeing. So this would be 62 miles. Over here would be more like 63 miles. But you really don't see any difference here than you do over here. There's no difference at all in that train. It's the same height. You can see the train. It's hard to see the train tracks over here because you have the mountains behind it that kind of blend in. But you can even see, you can make out empty box cars here. There's nothing there. There's the train. Here's the track underneath. Empty cars. Okay. That's even a better picture. You can see the train here. The tracks, these two box cars are empty. This one, actually, this train is now coming toward me. Here's a completely empty section. There's nothing even there on the train. You can see that section is moving, so it's not just land. You can see that train is moving. You can see this section move, right? So that is a train actually moving along the tracks. And again, when you're this point right in here over top, that's about as close as you can see without the train getting too much behind the mountain. And then there's clearly water in front of it, so it couldn't be really much closer than this, 62 miles. And again, 62 miles has to be 32 feet. 32 feet. Could I be able to see the train track if it's only 16 to 20 feet tall? There, now we can see the train track. See, there's the end of the train. Here's the end of the train coming across. Here's the train track going across the lake. That has to be 30 feet tall off the water in order for me to see it. And you can clearly see it going down there. You can clearly see the whole train track there. Just a couple more pictures. There, it's about to disappear behind the mountain here. But you can clearly see there's water in front of this train track. So it's not, the train track's not over here where there's dirt. It's clearly over here somewhere in this area at 62 miles away. Again, 62 miles away, 32 feet. Is that train 32 feet tall? Is that train track 32 feet tall? Not according to Google Earth, it's not. 4208? 4225? Nope, it's not 30 feet tall. I should not be able to see that from my location. There's just a video of the train going through. You can see the train is moving. You see the train track ahead of it. And you can't really see the train track as the train's moving. Sorry, it's kind of long. I tried to video the whole entire thing. Again, another impossible sight on a globe that I can see. I thought this should be impossible. What is going on, folks? Again, so here's where I'm looking over the entire Salt Lake Valley, looking across the Great Salt Lake, and again I'm seeing these mountains way back here, which I've already discussed that I don't think I should be able to see as much of that mountain as I should. Go back and watch that video. I should only be able to see the top 1,500 feet or whatever of this mountain, and I'm seeing a lot more than that. I think I'm seeing the entire mountain. Again, that goes down to perspective. We've talked about perspective and all these different things and why things look taller than they are, or why you should be able to see stuff. I'm sorry. The more observations I do, and you can see how many lines I've drawn, how many observations I've been making, how many things I've been doing. You can see, I can see long distances. Should I be able to see those? In my opinion, no. I should not be able to see what I am seeing. And again, if you watched my last video, the Utah Lake thing, people think you can't see the curvature of a lake. Some people have proved that you can. Go back and watch those videos. Well, I'm proving that you can see stuff beyond. Again, this is where my horizon should be, is right here, and then stuff should drop off. And it doesn't. I can see beyond my horizon. Anyway, just another impossible sight brought to you by the wonderful Flat Earth, not round.